I'm basically showing you this thing, and basically I'm going to show you my OBS settings. So basically, this is my OBS, how it sets up now with basically my scenes. So go here, you see this camera, and basically so if we go over here, it's being used right now, so it's going to be a little bit laggy. So when we hit this one, it slides down this one, this knob slides on that, this slides down desktop, and this slides down the capture card. This one basically supposed to, that one, the one I showed you, was the one that goes here. That's the main camera. This one is a secondary camera, or the camera right here. And then this one right here is basically basically inside camera. And so it's inside camera. This is my desktop, the one you're on right now. This is the desktop with this camera right here. This knob right here is the desktop over here, but with the camera over here in the corner. This one is for the actual desktop with this camera for basically showing stuff from here. And then this one is for the screen below. It's the 1080p screen. This one is for 1080p plus camera right down over here. This one is for the capture card. This one is for the capture card in the corner with camera, and capture card over there with the in the corner. And so basically I'm also going to show you what it does. So basically, what was this one? This one, the play key, basically the play key on here is yeah, well, it's supposed to work. There we go. So I have to click it right. So basically that one is for that, for YouTube. Then the M right here is for muting, and that's for muting the microphone. This is for unmuting it. This is for muting the desktop audio, and this one is for muting the capture card. And I'll show you with this. So right here is muting this microphone right here, well, there, then, and unmuting it. This button right here is for muting desktop audio, and right here is for muting the capture card that you can't see because the scene is off. And then this is for this, the play button right here is for that. So when basically I click it once, it plays. When I click it again, it turns off. When I click it again, it turns on. So before it was just hotkeys, so I had to hold it, and I was trying to figure out how to actually do that. And so basically I could use the Stream Deck, which I have a way of set up to like do automated button press scene. So can just press the scene and automate it that way if I don't want to use this control right here. And the main reason for this is for in a 10 mini custom 10 mini, because there's a splitter over there, and then there's capture card. Just made this from parts half. So let me show you how I actually did the play button and then the actual thing. So going into OBS settings, I have it set so hotkeys. So if you go to hotkeys, the hotkey is for global. Hotkey, which is for global, is Command Option F20, and that's for show and hide on each of the global scenes. And then I went on to I made a global scene called right here with this right here, and it plays automatically. It's always active. And then I have these, so they're not active. So when I press the play button, which is Command Options F20, and I press that button, and once I press that button, it basically the hotkey activates, which turns this on, which plays that. It stops, and then I turn it off to actually be able to play it again. So I have to hit the button twice, basically. So versus the Stream Deck doing it automatically making the source invisible. I mean, deactive again. So basically, I download a software called Command Post. You install it, and then you get this software right here. And then if you're using MIDI, because there's also a Stream Deck portion there too. But if you're using MIDI itself, you just select right here, and then you basically go down to where it says control surfaces. Then you go to where it says MIDI, and then you click the MIDI device. You basically type in the command you want it to do. Then you press the learn key. Then you press the button on your control surface / your MIDI device, and then after that you press after you press learn, you press the key. Then you press save, and then it works. Then in OBS, you will literally just go here, and then you go to hotkey. Then you press where you want to put hotkey, and then you press the button. Then you press apply. Then that's done. And then after that, you test it to make sure it works. And this is good for stuff because the Stream Deck actually has a software called has the OBS plugins, which is with the software, which comes with the software once you install. If you install OBS first, and then the actual software comes with OBS stuff pre-installed, without errors. And then you can basically just make fast keys. I mean, you actually can do a multi-action and then have it do this automatically just by pressing the button to turn it on, then off, and then play that if you want to do it that way with the Stream Deck. I have it for both, just in case I want just like quick and I'm in the middle and I'm not using the control service, so I have that. With the control surface, with the Stream Deck, you just have to basically go to the Stream Deck software and then go to your Stream Deck. This is the ones I have. I'll show you how to do it. You just have to have OBS open. So you go click on multi-action. You add the multi-action by going down to Stream Deck and then multi-action. Drag that there, and then you click on it, and then you go here, put a delay in, and then you do OBS sources. For this source, it is the main source, which I was testing with picture-in-picture. So for example, I'll just show you. So I do face cam, and then global, and then activate. It should be activate on your source that is basically global. And then for the delay, depending on the video, on the picture file slash video file, if you have the picture file, if you have a GIF, should be 6 seconds at minimum. I mean at maximum. And if it's a video, should be 6 seconds too, unless you want it to be a longer subscribe button. And then for the GIF I have that I made, it's 6 seconds, and I put 7,000 milliseconds on there. And basically, so with 7,000 milliseconds, it's 7 seconds. So when I press this, when I press button first, it activates, plays for 7 seconds, which is the length of the GIF. Then right here, it basically does this action, which is deactivated, so it turns it off. And then it basically turns off face cam, which is the one I want it to do. And then you just set this for all the options you have. So just double click here. Oops, don't want to add the icon. So then this, I just copied all of them. And so then you just go to here, and you go to here, and they should be all set to deactivate and activate for the first one. First one should always be activate, second one should always be deactivate. That's right, just making sure. Now 5, this one is, did I say 5? No, so 4. I'm gonna say 4. So that one, so that one. So just keep doing this for all of them, and I'll just do that for you real quick. I can't pause this video for the fact that yeah, so so then this one, so I'm gonna show you what they do. So after that, so yeah, so you keep doing this. Oh yeah, just a little. So yeah, so sorry about this. Then we go to this one. Then we go to this one. I'm just doing all of these right now because of it's just showing you the actual process. You just have to make up. You just have to make all the ones you want. This is for capture card. This is for my capture card. This one's for the other capture card. This is for capture card off. So This is for capture card plus face cam, and then capture card plus face cam. So basically, I'm on the last one, and then I recommend just having these as a backup just in case you are using control surface. You want to have it so you have a backup just in case of the control surface. So just in case you want something easier to like do, you just don't want to have to press the button twice versus just pressing it once over here. I have it just like that, just for convenience purposes on both. And this one is for the microphone, desktop audio, and then the thing. So now when that's closed, you open up OBS, and so when I'm, for example, on this one, you'll see there's stream decks right here. So when I basically press, this is right here, it goes like that, and then it turns off. If you look at it, if you look at it, so if you look at it, so watch here. So I'm about to put my mouse here, so you see how it's gray. So now I'm about to press again, so turns on, and the control surface over there. And yeah, so that's if you want just a one button and hand waving actually free. Just to do this, you can use this for Twitch, you can use this for Facebook, you can use this for YouTube, you can use it for anything that you're streaming onto. So Instagram, for example. And so, for example, if I go here, which is this camera right here, I can press this one and same exact thing, just different lengths right there. So this is just for if you're trying to do pre-production. So if this is for pre-post, so if you want to basically add an effects, be actually for editing anything into. So if you want to color grade it, there's a plugin for that for like OBS. Or if you want to just make it so when doing live production, you literally can just press a button and there's that. You have to not edit in as many effects, which makes the timeline easier to like work with. So if you do live production like this, and instead of, because most people would put that in by editing, but you could do that by just pressing a button on here while recording the video. You can also do it with live too. So if you're streaming on the computer, this works even better on Windows because there's no hiccup with this specific software for like controlling. But and so there's also a software called a MIDI mix on Windows that basically you don't need. So once you install the drivers for this on Windows, you install MIDI mix, and then you can basically do hotkey plugins in that software by basically adding the hotkey in the Stream Deck software, taking it. So example, it would be F17 through F124, and you could just drag and drop that on. You can put that onto the Stream Deck, press the Stream Deck onto a MIDI mixer, and pair it to this device, and then you can press this button, and it'll act as basically a hotkey binding software for Windows. Or you can basically use MIDI 2 key, which also is pretty much the same exact thing, but it's basically would write the whole controller. But using this on the control surface, you pretty much using this control surface on MIDI mixer, you don't get access to these buttons like you do on OS X, so you can't pair them to like anything unless you de-add them from actual the software, which is kind of a pain in the butt with like MIDI mix. And so with this, you can just use the software I showed you, and you can just do actually the key binding with that software, and then use it for basically just sending hotkeys to there. And when you want to do like control of OBS, then you just have OBS to MIDI, which basically which you can use the rest of the open keys for OBS controlling, like this. And you can literally just leave that like that, and then there's that. So all of this was actually the setting up this in OS X is easier than setting up MIDI mix on Windows, because with MIDI mix you have to basically set up MIDI mix, debind stuff, make sure you have the drivers installed for the X controller first, and then doing the key binding in OBS versus for the hotkey stuff, versus this you just have to install OBS MIDI, and then inside OBS, after you install it, plug this in, it gets the Apple drivers, and then you do that. So excuse me. And so my screen keeps going to sleep. I should probably put a higher timer on there, but basically that is how you set up like a subscribe notification on the screen during a stream slash a actual recording. If you're doing a stream, you might want to have 2 people. So if you're gaming, or just have it all go through basically a through the stream deck. If you're streaming, the stream deck would be for if you're streaming, so you can basically just take one hand off the mouse real quick, press button, and it goes up there. Versus if you're basically just recording mainly, I would use this. If you're a one-man band recorder, you basically just need a control surface or some kind of MIDI controller. I recommend this one because it's small. There's enough buttons on here to like do everything I need, and it's also $79, which was pretty cheap. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for watching. That's how OBS looks with the control with Commander Post, and also OBS MIDI. Yeah, and it's for controlling your. That's one thing you can do. You can also do lower thirds that same exact way. So just have a lower third you would like to show. So for example, you have a lower thirds of like, say, like your actual Twitter hashtag or Facebook ID, whatever, like a number you want people to call. You literally could just do that same exact thing by pressing this button, or in that case, because just have one button for basically the subscribe, one just for your lower thirds that you can basically press. For example, like pressing like on this one, the R button, you could basically bring up a lower thirds at the bottom on all pages, and you just give it another command, like you give it like F16 or something, or like whatever. When you press this button, it would just show everything. It would just show the lower thirds, and when you press it again, it would basically show up on the screen. Or you can do the same thing with the basically Stream Deck with lower thirds, same way I showed you, but it would just be on a bigger scale versus that. And with the Stream Deck, it doesn't have to. It basically doesn't have to be a GIF for lower thirds. You have to be able to stretch across the screen. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.